Hey folks, just a quick one. Apologies at the beginning of the video because, as you can probably hear, I'm not in the best place. Now, this isn't it's mental health related, but it's not anything anyone's done. It's not me feeling like doing anything that I wouldn't be able to regret. It's not that level. It's just it's the hobby, basically. It's the hobby. So you may notice behind me we are devoid of any logos or anything. So my tablet lights up and displays the Great Western logo. This is just a picture of the River Severn taken yesterday. Yeah. So what was the point of this video? What's the point of this video? Yes, that's a good question. Point of lots of my videos like this, where I stand here and I say, oh, I'm going to do this, or I'm thinking about doing this. What are your thoughts? I'm thinking about doing this, this and this. Oh, I'd really like to do this. I brought some own gauge models. I've done this. Yeah. And that is exactly what the point of this video is. It's this chopping and changing has to stop. I came to the conclusion last night with the help of a good friend, and it really was very useful to talk to them because the O-gauge is just great. It's a nice size, it's fantastic to look at. I'm hoping, by the way, to get rid of this. This is a borrow from work, this monitor here, so it's going back tomorrow. Now some people might suggest my mood is caused by the prospect of going back to work. For those who know me, it's been a little bit of a stressful time of recent, or not recent, a few years or so. But I do have a new place of work. It's the same company and everything, but new. Basically, I'll be based on a different site, and it's a slightly different role, and there's things I'm losing. So it's like, it's gonna be give us a chance, sort of thing. But anyway, that's gonna go back tomorrow, and then the big pannier should go. The biggest of my big panniers should go there, so I can see it when I'm using the computer and that sort of thing. And basically, the special tank, the London North Western Railway special tank. I have got a photo. No, I don't have the copyright, but at this moment in time I'm in that place where I really don't care. If Ramsbottom wants to come back to life, get upset about me showing this picture of this engine, then he is more than welcome to. I think he'll cause a stir by the fact he's come back from the dead after so many years. For that. Here we go. So a special tank looks like this. That is a special tank there. And it's based on the Special DX Goods class, which is one of those. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about when I refer to a special tank. So the base kit, Crooks, LNWR Crooks very kindly put me in the direction of that. That's £260. Then you've got to buy the wheels for it, because the kit doesn't come with any wheels. You're looking at another 50, 60, and it may not be even be the right style potentially available. Then you need a motor and a gearbox, and basically you add it all together, it comes to about £500, £500 worth just over, on one engine. Now, yes, when you are talking something this sort of size, you might say, well, that's fair enough. You've got to build it then, okay? Like any kits, like if I did a kit in any other gauge, you've got to build it, and you've got to make sure the chassis is true and square. You've got, so you think, well, okay. And it's nearly all metal, okay. This has got barely anywhere to hold it because of that working valve gear underneath it. There's a flat plate under here. So yeah, you know, sort of like, okay, great. And then you've got to paint it still. And you get the right paint to make sure the paint sits. You've got to get the right primer, because the primer I use for my Games Workshop mainly use for all my plastic kits wouldn't be any good for a O gauge, well, a metal kit. You can use metal primers. Again, more cost. Okay, that one you can sort of argue, well, yes, it'd be one spray can of primer, which will probably do multiple engines. And I know the Halfords primer is useful there, so you know there. But it all builds up. It all builds up, and you're going to be talking the best part. I think the best part of £1,000 before you, £1,000 before you've got anything approaching a working model. And that's providing the whole thing goes right first time. Now you've got the questions of, do you put compensation in so it's, you know, sprung or not, which you really do need. You need to make sure your sprung buffers work, because this is the gauge where it matters. Well, not just the gauge, this is the style of coupling where it matters. So you have sprung buffers because you've got couplings, yeah? And these couplings are not like your tension locks or your KDs, where that's what meets. When this meets, it's meeting other wagons, it's meeting other sets of buffers. So as it goes around corners, it needs to be able to move. And that's where the sprung buffer matters. In our double O gauge models, it doesn't matter unless you convert your entire stock to 3-link couplings, or, you know, scale couplings, which some people do. If you wanted an example of this, Oak Hill Model Railway is a big user of scale couplings, and a lot of his stock he has spent a lot of time converting to sprung buffers because he needs them now. But for the rest of us, for the other people, for those of us who don't use it, it's totally unnecessary. So yeah, so O gauge is a nice idea, but it's just not viable. You look at £50 a wagon, £50, £60 a wagon as well. You can get some cheaper ones second hand, that's not a problem. But this is all adding up. It's not. This small layout is meant to be a springboard to a bigger layout. The bigger layout is not going to be financially viable at all. So simple as that, basically. So this is staying. This is unboxed. This is staying because I would like to keep something O gauge, and this pannier seems to be that. So there do seem to be bits coming out of it rather regularly. This toolbox on this side's come off twice now. But yes, so let's pop it back up there, because even through buying ready to run, it's not very much cheaper really overall. So the Terrier's going. That's sound number 1 of this video. So anyway, I was chatting with Dale today, and he's had a bit of an issue with one of his passenger cars. Beautiful passenger car, but the wheels that they've mounted on the axle. The axle's mounted, which is really weird because it's all of them. Yeah, so that was a bit, yeah. And I thought, oh, what the heck, I'll give it a try. I'll try and run the Large Prairie again with 3 coaches on the inner track, because the Dapol 3800XX wouldn't work on the Kato controllers. It had to be on the Gatehouse controllers on the outside track. It didn't work, so I got the 64XX out of the set. That worked. I had 2 Great Western trains running. The 3800 proceeded to get really warm, so we stopped that for a bit, and I tried the Prairie again. Tried it with less and less load, and then looked up online and saw something about the springs. So I carefully removed the said springs, and yes, it managed to get round with a little slowdown on that side. So I thought, okay, cool, 3 coaches, yep, fine, okay, there's that little slowdown still. Can it do the 5 now? I mean, bearing in mind these things pulled 8 or more, you know, in real life. They, you know, no. As soon as I got to the corner, stopped again. It's pathetic. That 1 N-Gauge model of the year. I remind you, that engine 1 N-Gauge model of the year. And at that point, enough was enough. I've packed all the N-Gauge away. and my entire UK Engage collection is going to be sold to recover the costs as best I can. I've got no other option but to do that, to recover those costs as best I can. Yeah, so this isn't. I'm sorry, this isn't a very happy video, but I'm not a very happy person at the minute. And it's important that I think it's important we show these sites, because we've all joked, well, plenty of people have joked, including myself, about my chopping and changing. But this is the reality, this is the face of it, this is the bit I try and hide from the rest of you, because it's meant to be a hobby we do to enjoy and relax. This has caused me a lot of pain today inside, which is why I'm not rushing away. It's why we've got this picture of the River River 7 here. You know, I'm wearing one of my train t-shirts, freshly washed. My nails wearing it the other night, but you know, washed today, back on me today. Washed last night, back on me today. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not relevant. But it's packed away. That's why I'm not trying to do anything else tonight. Now, I'm sure there's some very well-meaning people who are saying, "Well, why did you pack the Engage away? You could have done your Japanese." I don't want to do the Japanese. I've actually got less than zero interest in doing the Japanese now. I don't want to seem too harsh, but I really haven't. Because if nothing else, it just pours salt on the wound that UK trains that just cannot compete with these in Engage. They cannot compete as models, as working miniature models. They cannot compete. That hurts even more. The knowledge of that hurts even more. It's just, yeah. So I really could not care less about doing that. Sounds harsh for something that was such a big part of my life, but it's moved on. It was a time before I did Japanese trains. They're not going anywhere, though. So there's no one getting the hopes for any part of this collection or anything. That is not going anywhere. At most, they will go into storage in some way, shape or form, either under the bed here in that storage part or in the loft to make space. Yeah, so the UK Engage is being sold, the Terrier Engage is being sold. I say at this point, I have no idea what I'm doing going forwards, because now's not the right time to make that decision at all. The one thing I do know that I can carry on with is watching videos on YouTube, watching me DVDs and things on here, going to Heritage Railways. I've got a model show coming up this weekend, so we'll give it some thought, and knowing me, I probably will start trying to think about it tonight at some point, but I'm not going to say anything on the camera. So I won't be taking a break from YouTube. If there is a stream on Saturday night, I hope there is still a stream on Saturday night. You know, it might be model train related. I might have actually, thought, no, this is what I'm going to do. It might be train sim. I have recently acquired the Caledonia Works A4 and B12. Say acquired. I purchased them today. Today and yesterday, day before, whatever. Anyway, I got the B12 today anyway. Yeah, I think we got the A4 Friday. I did get the A4 Friday and then B12 today. Again, doesn't matter. But I've got those. So it could be a train sim one. But ideally, it would be nice to have something, real model wise. My Warhammer figures won't be able to feature because I am still needing just to get out and spray the lot, and I don't know if I'm going to get the chance this week. So yeah, and model kits, I've got nowhere to put build ones in a minute, so I decided to turn this over to it entirely, which I tried to do before, but then ended up wanting to put a train set back in, so we'll see. But yes, Engage, this is the final farewell to it in British terms. Yeah, so anyway, this isn't, please no one take anything I said personally, or if you were someone thinking about why don't you do the Japanese, it wasn't it's just that is where I am with it. It's not against your thought. It's a nice thought. It's a great thought actually. We know these work for you. They've made you happy in the past. Why wouldn't you want to do this? It's just because that stage has gone. That stage of my life has passed. Actually, to the point where I really couldn't care about going to Japan these days. Studio Ghibli is still going to be a big part of my thing. That's the one thing I am keeping, is Studio Ghibli, because I'm still very much looking forward to going to see Joe Hisashi live in November. But the two things are not mutually exclusive, so just because I'm not doing Japanese railways and I'm not really bothered about going to Japan, doesn't mean then I'm just going to suddenly lose interest in it. I'm not really lost interest in it, it's just I'm not that fussed about it. It's like, yeah, maybe one day. There's other things I want to do first. Obviously, I'm still waiting for my dental operation to sort this out. I wouldn't mind going to see Dale. If anything, the trip by Anthony and Joyce over here to see us, or see all of us over here, has made me think even more. I need to go and see Dale. I want to go and see Oak Hill again. There's more. I'd like to meet some more of you folks again. Dino and Hot Dog Pilot Andy and Lord Owl and Graham from Leamington Junction and Andy, March West Andy and Donegal Dad Mark. I was talking to Mark about going to Donegal Museum. There's other things I want to do before going to Japan. And one of my biggest reasons for going was going to see C62-2, D51-200, that sort of thing. And that's something I'm at peace with. That's one decision I made I'm actually at peace with in myself, is with regards to my model trains, is not doing Japanese. I'm totally at peace. I did have some running the other day, the 2 locos running to simulate the closest I could get to LNWR. It was going to be on the street, and it was going to be the stream, but when I then said I'm not likely to be running the C11 in the stream, I thought it was very ridiculous to say that and then run two Japanese steam locos in the stream anyway. So yes, this is me being open and honest with you. I still love the Great Western. I still like the LMS, the LNWR, the LNER, the Southern, British Rail. Still nothing's changed there. This is just the modelling side. Where do I go? I know also now I'm not really that interested in doing 009. Now, this is because I have a 009 project to work on. This is the War Department Light Railway inspired layout that I'll be working on at some point in the future with Greg. So, basically 009 is accounted for. Does that make sense? So, yeah. I have got an idea for a layout. I will say this much, obviously, because then the scale and what it will be and everything else is all still open. Even this could change. Of some sort of shunting yard, and maybe with an engine shed in the background, and the locos coming in and off on a shuttle. So big engines are accounted for with the engine shed, and then I've got my little tank. I can shunt my hearts to content with little tank engines. I could even have the engine shed being part of the main line, and this being exchange silos for a colliery. So I get my industrial tank engines, and then the mainline locos are the ones doing the shuttling in the background. And obviously, when I'm not doing stuff for camera or stream, or when we just want to have a fun stream, then one of the mainline engines potentially could come and shunt the yard. And I think finally, whilst I don't want to commit too heavily, obviously I'm not touching the British Train Gauge again. In fact, you couldn't pay me to touch it again. Well, you might be able to, but it has to be extreme amounts. Give me enough amounts to let me have a whole separate layout of something else. And also the O gauge is off the cards as well. So it's going to be one of the other 2 gauges. Now, I say 2 there, it's going to be 00 or potentially TT, just depending on what's going on. Obviously right now is a good time to look at TT, because we've got 2 days left on the Hornby sale, and there is the sales for it on our other websites, where it is actually a very good price. I think I saw Mallard go for £99 earlier in TT, just as an example. So yeah, so there's some stuff to think about, but as like I say, I'm not going to commit to anything because I don't want, the next time I stand or sit, do a video, I want to be able to look at you all and say, this is what I'm doing, and that will be what I'm doing. There's no shame in changing your mind, there's no harm in it, but I'm not being here again, I'm not being in this feeling again. Whatever I'm doing, it's got to work, it's got to be made to work. And the Engage, I'm just fed up with coming up against the same barrier every single time of shoddy models. People get these things to work. They no doubt all of this collection will end up in someone else's collection. They'll work. They'll never bat an eyelid about it. It'll work for them. I'm not saying I'm being, they're not being vindictive against me. It's just it just seems to be that other people can make these things work where I can't. They've got the little technical knowledge or something, the little thing that's made them go, that's how you do it, or that needs this fix. There it goes, that's the Prairie, we're running properly. So losing the Prairie is going to be a sad thing, because I actually met one of the founder members of saving that particular Prairie, large Prairie, of 5164. He was there, he helped them get out of Barrow Scrapyard and everything. It's quite a big thing, but who knows, whatever gauge I do, I might be able to get another model of it one day. See if I see the gentleman again and get him to sign it or something. See if it's going to be important, I suppose. But anyway, I'll sign the box, I suppose. But yeah, so the board's there. Well, obviously I still need a new baseboard, so that also depends what I'm going to be doing. But the stuff's there's a base there to play with something on it. I've got AnyRail and stuff on the computer, and all your lovely layouts and various DVDs and videos on YouTube of Real Railways for inspiration. But yeah, so it's been quite therapeutic to talk this all through. I'm looking to get rid of this in bulk, recover the costs as best I can. Whatever the prices they give me, I'll choose the best of the places I offer it to. I'll choose the best of those, and that's what we'll go with, whatever it is, what I accept. And that will go some way to repaying what I spent on it this month at the shows. I could earn more by sticking it on eBay, but I just need that reset. So yeah, I can't be bothered with that basically. So yeah, that's the route I've chosen. Anyway, you're still with me, thank you for watching. I'm sorry there's been no trains moving in this one, but obviously you understand. Yeah, enjoy your model railways, stay safe, take care and be well, and I'll see you in another video. Right. Bye.